Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure vehicle review. Today, we're going to look at the Spinmaster 12-inch scale Batmobile. It doesn't really have a specific name, but it looks like a modern Batmobile. I'm going to say it's a Rebirth Batmobile. It's intended for 12-inch figures, 1/6 scale, but I got this to use with my 6 or 7-inch scale figures. Spinmaster releases several Batmobiles for the 12-inch figures that are grossly undersized for them, but work pretty good for the 6 and 7-inch scale, which is what I'm into. I got this guy at Ross, of all places, for a really cheap price. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, the Batmobile is exposed on the top, so you can check it out, do whatever you want to do. You can even sort of open it up and see how the canopy is. We have the Batman logo there, DC Comics, you can see Batman fitting inside. Batmobile, ages 3+. There is a Rebirth Batman here, which is part of why I'm calling it the Rebirth Batmobile. Also, the Rebirth Batman logo on it. So it's a blue Batmobile, blue window. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's nothing extraordinary, but for the price, it's a damn good vehicle. Here's the barcode, if it helps. And on the back, you can see the price I paid, $13.99. Cannot beat that. So no further ado, let's open it up. Alright, now that we got this vehicle out of the package, here it is laid out in front of you. Comes with absolutely no accessories. It's pretty basic, pretty bare bone. Now when I saw this thing at Ross, I got pretty excited. The packaging totally reminded me of some of the other Spinmaster 12-inch scale Batmobiles that I have, and some of them are magnificent, fantastic for your 6 and 7-inch scale figures. When I popped open the canopy, I saw the room inside, and I thought, this is going to be just like them. But having it in hand, it feels very small, very undersized. Almost feels like it's scaled for something smaller than what I'm accustomed to. It's really weird because I put a 7-inch figure next to it and it seems kind of small, but honestly it's intended for 12-inch figures, which would look absolutely ridiculous next to this thing. Either way, it is a pretty cool looking Batmobile. I mean, look at it by itself there. It looks fantastic. I like the shape. I like the fact that it has a sort of blue, sort of shiny, sort of metallic look to it. It has what looks like a Rebirth bat symbol on the side. And the canopy window, blue, matches the rest of the Batmobile. So let's take a closer look. So, if it's not the Rebirth Batman symbol, it looks very similar. The wheels are pretty good, made of sort of a hollow type plastic. They do rotate, and they rotate independently of each other. All 4 of them are separate. Nice little detailing on the sort of hull of the vehicle. I like the canopy. I think it matches the rest of the vehicle nicely. The fins are pretty cool. This one is sleek going, and this one kind of goes upward. At the back, we have the exhaust. We have a nice sort of red sticker here, but the thing is giant. And it has a kind of interesting sort of black textured part around there. Other side is exactly the same, of course. At the front, you can kind of see where I guess where the lights would be. They have these gold stickers. At the bottom, it's pretty flat, but it does have some sort of detail, so it's not just plain flat surface. And that's about it. Of course, then you can open it up. It does click shut. And it is totally hollow and blank inside because, like I said, it's intended for a 12-inch scale figure, which is absolutely ridiculous. The inside has absolutely no detailing. If you were to invest and put some seats there, controlling, blah, 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 you could potentially make this pretty cool, but it's still going to be on sort of the small side of things. Now check out the measurements of this thing, which did kind of surprise me. So, from bottom to the top of the sort of windshield there, about 4 inches tall. The very top of the fin there, about 4.8 inches tall. As far as how wide it is, about 7 inches wide. And how long it is, about 17 inches long. And then for the action features, which we've kind of already gone over, there's only really 2 things besides just sort of existing. We have the wheels that spin. And like I said, they spin independently. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the cockpit, which can open up and probably hold a whole family of action figures. It's very bare bone, seatless. If you wanted to customize it, you could probably make it cooler, but it wouldn't change the fact that the car is still sort of small compared to the figures. And honestly, I thought everything was pretty cool up until this moment. Then when I busted out my McFarlane toys, I was like, wow, this thing is super small. Same time, it's intended for figures much larger than these, 12-inch scale figures. These McFarlane figures are about 7 inches tall, and they look way too tall next to this Batmobile. The crazy thing is it's intended for figures almost twice as big as these guys, and it does accommodate them, no problem. Both the Hush and Nightfall Batmans here, they have these plastic capes, very wide, makes it pretty much impossible to fit into vehicles. Here's the Hush Batman lying in this thing. It's like a bat bed. And there's just so much damn clearance in there. He has to kind of lay low. If he sits upright, he's going to be a little bit too tall for this thing. But lay him in here, I swear you could probably even fit the freaking Nightfall Batman in there with him at the same time. Holy shit, it goes all the way inside there. Look at that. Hell. It's like a little bobsled. You got the whole Bat family inside this thing at the same freaking time. That's the funny thing about these vehicles. They're intended for 12-inch scale figures. There's so much room and so much clearance. Even though it's really intended for one figure, you can fit a whole gang of them in there. So I have this Mattel WWE Wrecking Car. It holds 6 and 7 scale figures, no problem. It has these seats in here, which come out pretty easily. It's part of those sort of wrecking features. This whole car comes apart. And I was thinking maybe, just maybe, if I were to take these things, you could mount them or glue them in here. You can almost make yourself a little bit of a 2-seater Batman car. The top does shut with the seats in there, but if the figures are sitting in the seats, they're going to sit up probably a little bit too tall. Let me see here. So let's say I put McFarlane, Batman, and Robin on here. They're just going to be far too tall with the seats. They have to just sort of lay down a lot flatter. As you can see, it really wouldn't work. And I put Batman in the back where it is a little bit taller versus the front. But of course, if I have him laying down kind of like this, then you'd be able to shut it. But they don't look quite as good, so you would need some sort of seats that lay a little bit flatter down if you wanted these larger figures to fit in here. If I wanted to put a Mattel DC Universe Classics Batman in here with a cloth cape, he's still a little bit too tall, but it's damn close. I kind of push him out of the way, but I was able to shut it. If you wanted to put a Mafex Batman figure in there, it'd be even closer. It still sort of pushes him a little bit, just push him down a tiny bit. Close to clearance. That doesn't look entirely awful, but doesn't work fully on the seat. And then the smallest size Batman figure that I collect, SH Figure Arts. That one, he's sitting in the seat exactly like he should. And it shuts. Doesn't push him out of the way. He kind of slid off, but that was, I think, when I clicked it. Put it back on the seat. Shut it. It does not. I guess it does. So you'd have to figure out a different sort of seat method. And tell you the truth, this is a Spinmaster 12-inch scale Batmobile. Here's a Batman from Spinmaster's new 6-inch scale DC comic line. And he scales up pretty good with the Batmobile. It still seems kind of low next to him. But if you were to put him in and sit him down as he's supposed to be, it'll shut just fine. You can actually sort of see him in the cockpit there. He looks about where he should be. Here's a look at this Batmobile in the Batcave, part of Batman's armory, ready to go. And here's a look at Spinmaster's new 6-inch scale Batman, 6-inch scale Batcave, the 6-inch scale Batwing, and a 1/6 scale Batmobile, which I think fits in good with the 1/12 scale other items. Here's this new 1/6 scale or 12-inch scale Batmobile, next to a couple of older Spinmaster 12-inch scale Batmobiles. These are also based off sort of the Rebirth comics or the White Knight, Spinmaster's own sort of design. And this new one, it's a little bit smaller, but if you look at next to it, it's really not much smaller. These things I thought were great for your 6 and 7 inch scale figures. Fantastic, cheap Batmobile. Spinmaster also made this sort of armored Batmobile for 12 inch scale figures. It worked great for my purposes as well. And here, next to the Spinmaster 12 inch scale Batwing for the Flash movie, it was also perfect for the 6 and 7 inch scale figures. Here it is, next to a couple of McFarlane DC Multiverse comic Batmobiles, then with a couple of their most recent movie Batmobiles, and finally, next to the DC Direct Batman the Animated Series Batmobile. So overall, it's a pretty nice looking Batmobile, but I'd say it's just far too small to use for the purposes I want it to be. And the funny thing is, it's intended for much larger things that I collect. If you open up the Batmobile, it's like a big giant bed or coffin for Batman to lay inside of, and that works for a 12 inch figure, but it's grossly out of scale outside. If McFarlane figures are 1/10 scale, and 6 inch figures are 1/12 scale, then I would say this thing is closer to like 1/14 scale, at least on the outside. And the funny thing is, it's part of a 1/6 scale action figure line. So, on the outside, I do think it looks good. I like the paint job. I mean, keep in mind, this is a really cheapo toy, and I think it's pretty good for that. But, it's overall way too short. The figure has to sort of lay inside of there. If it was, I don't know, 20% bigger, I'd probably be in love with this thing. As it is, it's just too small. Far too small for 12 inch figures. Too small for 6 and 7 inch figures. Probably about right for like a 5 inch figure or something like that. It looks pretty good with the Spinmaster 6 inch scale Batman. If I were to rate this thing, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 10, and that's really because it's small. If it was a little bit bigger, I'd probably give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10, because I think it looks pretty nice. It's just too small for the purposes I was hoping it would be good for. And those are not the purposes it's intended for. I'm just trying to improvise or makeshift, etc. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure and action figure vehicle reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.